Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're here a mini episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's in Limbo with me tonight?
Hi, I'm Michael Colby from Jack Billings Presents, and I think anyone who doesn't like this game is a big jerk and is ugly and smells bad.
I'm Zach from Absolutely the Best Podcast, A Work in Progress, and I have a worm in my head that makes me do things backwards.
So have you thought about running to be in charge of healthcare for the United States? I heard that's a prerequisite.
That was kind of where I was going with that.
Okay.
But it is topical to the game.
It is. So we are here to talk about, because of Colby, Limbo, developed by Playdead, published by Microsoft, and came out in 2010 originally.
Holy cow. I can't believe this is 15 years old.
It could be released today, and I think it would fit right in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It still would, yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it, so yeah, it wouldn't change anything.
No, I also wouldn't change anything because this game is perfect.
I mean, that is a word for it, sure. So we'll start with our memories. I had actually played this probably 2010 or 2011. I remember it being a huge deal when it first came out on Xbox Live Arcade, whatever. Yeah, I think this is one of their first, this is one of their early big games that they were all touting at the time. I don't remember a whole lot. I just know that I picked it up probably on a sale because the internet told me to. And I remember I did not have a great time with it, but I did beat it. So that's my history. Zach.
I am not a PC gamer. I don't even have a PC. So when it first came out, I don't think I really had a way of playing it.
It was on Xbox.
But I also don't have an Xbox.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Nintendo through and through. Only because I don't have time for all the consoles. And so I would gladly own a PS5 and an Xbox, whatever we're on, but they're just going to sit there and collect dust. Anyways, so it did make its way onto the Mac at some point, and I heard so many good things about it. I don't like playing games on computers, but I was like, I got to try this out. About 2012, and I was not disappointed. I think I had to look up a few things, probably more out of being impatient rather than being unable to figure it out completely. And I also purchased it more recently for Switch, and I replay it from time to time. I really enjoy this game. It's a good story and a good challenge, and it has a lot of clever puzzles in it.
And Kobe.
I bought this when it came out and have since bought it, maybe a dozen times. This is my Resident Evil 4, my game that I'm going to buy no matter what platform it comes out on. I am an art school student. I am a writer. I am a painter. And I am a recovering goth kid. So this game really works on kind of all levels for me because I love the aesthetic of it. I love how it looks. I love how it moves. I also love how it tells a story without any words at all. And I love that you get to just, murder a little kid over and over again. I think that's hilarious.
It's some pretty great animations, actually, the dying.
Yeah.
Along the lines of what you said, I also love the style. It's kind of like an old black and white film, but more of a cartoon, right? The atmosphere, especially with the ambient background noises, really adds to the game. And I think we both have said that it tells a good story without any dialogue, but so much is conveyed just through shadows in this game, and it's really something you need to experience.
Yeah, I mean, even down to the opening screen, the word Limbo right in the front looks like what they would have done in an old black and white movie. That is the title screen to an old black and white movie, and it's I just the other day I was just staring at the opening screen, trying to figure out exactly what it was that was putting emotions into my brain just from a background and those big blocky white letters. And I don't know what it is, but every frame of this game is if I were a video game developer, if I, knew how to code and stuff, this is the game. this would be the first game that I made. It's just like every time I play this game, which is a lot. Like I have played this game on my phone and it works. It's the only like platformer action game that I've ever played on a phone where I was like, "Oh yeah, this is still great." Like
what are the controls like on that?
It's touchscreen, D-pad and jump
Okay. Wow, yeah, I don't know if it would
jump
work for
and
me.
drag.
Yeah. Huh.
It's not
Yeah.
complicated, so you don't need a lot of button pushes there. You know?
No, it's 2 buttons. And the amount that they can do with those 2 buttons, wow.
I feel
And
like
yeah,
it would be difficult in some of those later stages to do that on a touch screen, but
It's surprisingly fine. Like one of my other favorite games of all time is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and when that came out on phones, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm buying this." I can get past like 2 bosses on that thing. Limbo on the phone with the touch controls, I was just like, "I'm fine. This is fine."
Didn't know this game was on phones. I'm not surprised. I mean, this game's probably on everything. It's a simple game that you could put on anything. So
Yeah.
I should
Not
put it
that
on my kids' iPads, let them play it.
Yeah, I think it's like $3.
Yeah, that's worth it.
it's a simple game which can work. Like I said before, I played this back when it came out. And I remember I didn't like it, and I was like, well, maybe my opinion will change now that it's been 15 years. Yeah, I still don't like it.
That is so crazy to me because like the platforming is tough, but it's never impossible.
No.
And the puzzles are the type of puzzles that, Zach said he looked up a couple of things. Like I remember even on my first playthrough, I was like, but this is the kind of game I like too. A kind of game where you learn how the game works, and all you need is patience. Like if you don't have any patience, I can imagine this game being no fun. But if you have the slightest amount of patience, I mean, it's a 2-hour game. It's like a 2-hour game.
Oh, it's short.
So you can spend the extra 5 minutes figuring out, and then you get little fun little kid death animations. And I don't know why that's so funny to me. I mean, I understand that people get like weird about little kid death, but like it's a video game.
Yeah.
It's not like you're seeing a kid die. I mean, yes, it's a kid, but also it's a kid made out of shadows, essentially.
Yes, you never see what any of these characters look like. It's a silhouette with white eyes.
Yeah, so it's not like you're like,
you ever see.
oh, I like seeing kids being murdered. I mean, it'd be different if you're talking about a game where it's a highly detailed model.
Yeah.
And you're watching it get skewered. It's a shadow kid.
Yeah, if this was like a PS5 game and everything was rendered, and you had these expressions and stuff, then yeah, that would be a different story. But with this kid, also the kid's not alive to begin with, so who cares?
Michael, you said something earlier about like how you think about the game, and I think that was the problem I had the first time I played through it. Was almost immediately I ran into trouble with the first encounter with the big spider. It wasn't really obvious to me how to get that bear trap down that you need, and so I think that's what I looked up. And like once I got that, I think it was a little bit easy. I was like, okay, I see what the game is doing here, and then something kind of clicked in my mind, and I'm not sure I need to look up much after that.
Yeah, it's nothing ever like overstays its welcome. None of the mechanics really get repeated. It's like you do a section and that's where you use that thing that you learned, which I do think they do a really good job of showing you with like a really simple puzzle first.
Yep.
And then it goes on to be more complicated with the same thing. But then as soon as you pass that section, you don't have to think about those mechanics ever again in the game, which I think is really cool because like even in that short of a game, it knows how long to like have something go on before you're tired of it. Like you never get tired of anything.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate that they show you how to play the game without it being like press A to jump, like without on-screen prompts.
Yes.
I recently started that new Ninja Gaiden game. What's it called? I want to say Revengeance, but that's not it. Whatever. And it's like it's all tutorial for a stage, and it's like telling you how to do everything, and I hated that. Like,
But I assume that game has more than 2 buttons.
Yeah. But I feel like they could have done it in a way more like that. Like just make a longer first stage. It wasn't particularly long either. But like the whole first stage or two is just tutorial with them telling you what to do and how to do everything. And that's fine. I guess it gets you to the game more quickly, but I prefer it when the game kind of guides you into figuring it out.
See, I'm the opposite. I want a tutorial because my dumbass will miss things completely if you don't tell me sometimes.
Well, that's a poorly designed game.
Fair. Or sometimes it's just me too. But
I don't think there's anything in this game that you can miss. I think
you can. There's a collectible.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, the collectibles or whatever.
I didn't even know they were in the game. I beat this game twice.
I think I have all of the collectibles, but on different platforms. Like I'll get 3 of them on PlayStation 4, and then like 2 of them on Xbox 360, and then like a different one on the phone, and then one on the Steam Deck. So it's like I think I found them all. I think there's one that I didn't, and I think it's the last one. And by that time, I'm always just like, I don't care enough to to figure out how to do this. And I don't know. I'm weird about not.
Well,
looking.
If you don't care about trophies or achievement, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, that's a particular type of gamer I was at one time where I cared, and then now I'm at the point where I could give a shit. Like, cool if I get them, but I don't look at them. I don't go out of my way to get them. I just like them if they happen. Like in this game, they actually glitched on me. The only achievement I got was the last one for beating the game. Which I was like, I was a little bummed because it would have been nice to just get them just to have them there. But I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like I don't actually care.
Yeah, Inside's the same way. It has insanely hidden rooms, and I think besides beating the game, those are the only trophies in Inside, is to find these insanely hidden hatches, which is we'll get to Inside soon. We're gonna play Inside soon.
We are. But this October, I plan to.
But yeah, I do think I think Zach is right. The first bear trap that you have to get down is at the weirdest spot. Like for the first puzzle of the game, it's at a really weird, obtuse area. And I think that might be the only like strike against it, is that the rest of the game tutorializes what you have to do perfectly. But that first one is like, you can just sit there and go, what am I supposed to do? I can totally see that happening. And for some reason, it being the first puzzle of the game is insane to me.
I didn't have a problem with the early puzzles. I don't know if a lot of it was still in my memory or it just is simple enough that I was able to figure out. I struggled in the later puzzles where I had to look up stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I would have figured this out if I didn't watch a video, because my brain just didn't even think of some of these things as a concept. And maybe I would have over time. There was some stuff with the machine guns where you had to do a few things. I'm like, I didn't even think of doing that. Like
where you have to bring the one that's shooting down over top of the one that's shooting across.
I didn't know it could move.
Yeah. You have to get pretty far, and like that's the thing. I don't think it's that they're hard puzzles to figure out. You just have to be paying attention.
I don't like puzzle games.
Yeah, because when you do that particular one, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
It wasn't the only one, but that was one of them.
But yeah, you have to like, because you're definitely going to die before it starts moving. So you have to be paying attention after you've died to what's going on. And I think the game does a pretty good job of teaching you even that throughout the game, that you have to keep paying attention even after you die, because stuff keeps happening.
And the game, I do feel it follows the philosophy of Mario, where you have the player do something once, and then you have easily, then you have the player do it again, and then you start to amp up on that puzzle till you run its course, and then you do another puzzle, and you add different mechanics. And this game does that to a T. Like, this is not a bad game. I just don't find it enjoyable. And part of that is I'm not a puzzle gamer. I don't really like puzzles. When I play a lot of games that have puzzles, I usually just look it up because I just don't feel like figuring it out. And this is, like, we played Grizz on the show earlier this year. I loved Grizz.
Yeah.
Great game.
But this game is also very depressing for me, so I'm less interested in it too. I played Inside before too, so for the record, I played it once, and it's going to be twice. It sounds like so.
Yeah,
but,
it's grim. There is no point of light in the game. It is just grim. And usually that turns me off, but for some reason in these games, it's just like, okay, fine, I'll live in this misery for a couple hours. I'm not. Inside, I think, has a little bit more like spots of like, oh, that was some funny thing happens. Nothing funny happens in this game.
I think Inside is more depressing than this game, but we'll get there when I replay it because I haven't played it in a while. I mean, this game is depressing.
I haven't played Inside in a while either.
Oh, it's not one that you play every year like this one?
No.
Okay.
No, there is something perfect about this game. There is a reason that it's like 20 something spots higher on my like all-time games list than Inside, and I love Inside. I think Inside's in my like top 50, but there is something special about Limbo.
Zach, are you a fan of puzzle games in general?
Yeah, I love a good puzzle platformer.
Okay.
So
I do sometimes.
Probably why I like this.
I mean, yes, this is a puzzle platformer. It just, for me, I guess I want more abilities maybe, or more like I don't know. There was something about just jumping and dragging just isn't, and maybe it's just the black and white world here too. I'm not crazy about the graphics either.
I think they do so much with those, with just the black and white.
So little.
I mean, they do. 100% they do. I just don't care for it.
I mean, if it's dreary and that's not your thing, I get it. But yeah, I'm with Michael on this. I mean, it is grayscale, sure. But with so little detail in the graphics, they convey so much. And I think that alone is very impressive.
And it does. And the backgrounds, it's like some of the backgrounds are just black. Like there's one part in the really late game.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where the only light that you have is when the world is rotating and there's a hanging lamp that's swinging around. And the only way you even see the platforms is when it swings over. And that part blows my mind. But also when you're in like the woods area, there's like 4 different layers of the background. So it's like it's got sharp trees like in the direct background, and then they get fuzzier as they go back. And there's a bunch of different layers. And it's like I spent thousands of dollars on art school learning how to paint and, use depth and stuff. And this fucking video game creates depth that I couldn't dream of doing. And I paid, $5 for this game.
But look at the price.
$5
You helped
so many
out
times.
a university.
What's that?
You helped out a university.
It wasn't a university. It was an art school. So I don't mind have even though that school is no longer, it's defunct now, but yeah, it's just, I don't know what to tell you. And it's not one of those things where, I played it and I liked it and it's like nostalgia. At this point, 15 years, God, you could have nostalgia for this game.
Yes,
but
I'm sure people do.
It's not that, because the first time I played it, it's very few games, the first time you play it, it's like, oh yeah, this is one of my top 5 games of all time or whatever. But when it happens, it's like, wow. And that was this. It's not like I grew to love it more. I love it exactly as much now as I did. Like, I can remember the first time I played it going, what is happening? Like, how has like a 3 or 4 person team made a game with 3 colors in it that looks like this and makes me feel like this? It's just incredible. And I think I've come to embrace more since, I forget what game we were talking about on the podcast, but I think Kyle was talking about how it made him feel, and it was like feel. And I'm like, that is my whole video gaming philosophy. Like, the games that I like are art, and I can't imagine a more arty game than this. Maybe Gree, but
That is fair. I mean, this is a very artsy game, and it's not a bad game at all. I don't even understand why I don't like it to this day. There's just something about it for me that's kind of like, meh. It exists. I mean, the game doesn't really overdo puzzles too much. I mean, I might not be the biggest fan of them, but it doesn't overdo them. They all make sense once you understand it. I mean, I play this game the way I play most puzzle games. I tried to play everything legit, and then once I die over 5 times, then I look up a YouTube video what to do. That's my rule of thumb for stuff like this. I will try the puzzle, but if I don't have any idea what I'm supposed to do, or there's one puzzle where I knew what to do, but I couldn't do it. The one with the minecart where it's rolling down a hill, you have to stop it, and then eventually it will hit a button and electrify the floor above you, and you have to get across that floor. I was doing it, but my issue was I was almost right, but you have to start pushing it backwards and then not let it stop, climb on it, then jump. So I have that little bit of second where it has to start going forward instead of coming to a complete stop. And my brain didn't think of doing it that way. Yeah,
it uses momentum, and that starts happening later in the game than you would think it would. But that one might also be something that, like, maybe you could have taught us this earlier, but the puzzles where they use momentum do start like 3/4 of the way through the game. And yeah, I can see that being frustrating, I guess. And again, this is one of those games that I've beaten so many times that I can't remember what it was like the first time I did those puzzles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
like I can't like wrap my head around needing to figure any of these puzzles out because I've done them.
I had to figure out most of them. Like, yes, some were still in my brain, but not many. And there were some where I knew what to do, but then I couldn't, like, I didn't even figure out, like, there's the one where you have to get that critter to run into the wheel. I was very confused. And then I think it was, I had to look up YouTube and, get the critter in the wheel, of course. I just didn't. I was like, I'm holding this down. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think the game does a good job of walling you off.
It does.
So you, like, the way, I'm not saying the way you have to think about it. I'm saying the way you have to think about it is, this is my area. This is the area that I have. I'm going to have to figure out what I can do from the last place they walled me off to the place that I'm trying to get to.
And that's how I was thinking of it. It's just for some reason there were a few different points when either I forgot about the animal. Because again, the way I played this game was, yes, I played it over the course of 2 hours, but there was a lot of start and stop. Because things would come up and I'd have to put the game down.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't Snap. It was more important things that I couldn't just ignore. So Snap I can ignore. I actually ignored Snap for a few days, to be honest with you.
What?
A little too much, actually. Yeah, I didn't really play much.
Oh,
my
you're not going to get your
out and
season.
everything. Oh, I still.
You're not going to. Oh, you can. Okay, good.
I did already. The season ended. I was literally doing one of the season things an hour before the season ended. Like, fuck, I better get a few wins for this and unlock this thing. So yeah, that's not. I've never missed a card yet in there, and I almost did. So yes.
Oh, we would have had to hear about that for days.
Oh, you would have heard about it. Not a card I cared about, but I haven't missed a variant from that version of the game since it started over a year ago. I would have been a little upset with myself. But that's neither here.
That's all right. I have the Marvel Snap Discord channel muted anyway. I would have never.
I barely post in this. No one does. So no one really plays it anymore. I mean, most people have kind of fallen off and moved on. I think I put too much money into it to walk away. So I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy the season pass, and then the season pass goes, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy the season, and then I do it. So yeah.
The other puzzle in Limbo and people at home, that was not edited. We didn't talk more Marvel Snap. I just want to talk about Limbo more. The one puzzle that does do an annoying thing that I noticed this time was the mosquito who's eating the pile of poop that you have to get to fly up. I only realized it this playthrough. I was like, this is the only time you have to use stealth. And
Oh, yeah.
that probably didn't need to be in there. Because at no other time do you have to slowly approach something. And it's like, I didn't have that tool in my toolbox the first time I played it. I was like, this one I do remember having a hard time with, because it's the only time you have to use stealth.
You see, that one I figured out in a heartbeat without even really thinking about it. Because my brain just went, oh, it runs away, walk slow. And I mean, and that's one of the few times where my brain did that, because my brain normally didn't.
Yeah, I figured out some horrendous shit that people shouldn't like just intuitively do, I think, because my brain works weird. And that was the one where I was like, you didn't give me that tool. Like, you expected me to supply that tool.
You are correct.
Not cool.
I mean, but I mean, it's there. I think for me, some of the issues with platforming, failing, and then be like, am I doing this right? And I needed you two to tell me, you're doing this right, just do it better. And that's fine. Yeah. I don't mind. Like, sometimes I just need to know, like, is this even the right, like, am I even looking at this puzzle the correct way? Do I just suck at jumping? And sometimes, like, okay, yeah, you're just not timing this right. And that's fine. I'll get it sooner or later. Sometimes it was like, you're doing the completely wrong thing.
There's only 2 parts to this game, and it's figuring out the puzzle, and then you have to execute. There's some puzzles that are way harder to figure out than they are to do, and then there are some puzzles that are way harder to do than they are to figure out. There was a bunch that I still die on like 10 times because I know how to do it, but it's just hard. Like, it's hard every time I play the game, but I don't mind.
Like the flood puzzles, those are, I think, to me, one of the more difficult ones, because it's frustrating if you have to repeat it, because it's kind of timed, right? Those are a little bit difficult, and the machine gun ones, I think, are up there too.
I know the machine guns are part of trying to, like, explain some of, like, there's a story to this game, supposedly.
Yeah, he's in Limbo.
But there's more than that. Like, there's the idea that he died in a car accident because at the end he crashes through glass. There's the idea that the girl is actually burying him because he fell out of the treehouse and died. Then there's also the idea that this is taking place during World War One because of those machine guns are World War One era.
I mean, I feel like there's not a story that is as explicit as any one of those things. I think the idea is, like, you know, you can pick up bits and pieces here and there and your mind fills in the blank, and those are a bunch of options for you to pick from.
Yeah, I've never like seen a clear story arc.
There isn't one.
I think it can be whatever you want it to be. I always the girl I always figure is his sister.
Yes, that's
and
the idea.
And they died together.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that, you know, and he has to, you know, meet back up with her in Limbo. But yeah, I don't think it's really
not a game that anybody's playing for a story reason.
No.
It's just one of those games that you play because you enjoy a fun platformer puzzle and you want to be confused, you want to be tricked a bit, and you want to make your brain think. And
yeah, I don't think anybody's playing this for the platforming, because the platforming isn't
fun.
Strong suit. It's not. It's
the better part of the game, Lee.
Oof.
I don't like puzzles.
Somebody
made a good comment on the show, and I don't remember what episode it was or when you hear it. Most likely heard it before this. But I like video games like I like a book. I just want to go through them, experience them, and move on. I don't really always want to be challenged. And I know people are like, go pick up a fucking book, you have. But, like, this is my medium. So that's part of it. And puzzles make me think sometimes more than I overthink them. I'm also have a habit of doing that too. And then again, I love Portal 2, and I played that game legit.
Great.
Yeah,
I'm weird.
This game, the puzzles in this game give me Portal 2, like Portal and Portal 2, like they're tricky enough that I feel really smart when I figure them out, but they're not so tough that I have to look them up. And I think that's the sweet spot for a puzzle game. You know, it's not like The Witness where I'm like beating my head against the wall to try to figure out how one of these fucking puzzles work. Fucking Jonathan Blow. I hate his fucking games. But anyway, this
Braid
gives me the... I hate Braid. I think Braid... Okay. You want to talk about an obtuse puzzle game where the platforming is terrible. Braid fucking sucks.
I've actually
Limbo
beaten
is
Braid.
perfect and Braid sucks ass.
I feel like I had to look up everything on Braid. I didn't enjoy that.
I don't remember.
Braid's it's just not a good game, and I never understood why people like freaked out about it so much when Limbo exists. But anyway,
I know a girl who loves Braid
was
too.
around first.
I
You
know
do
plenty of people who love Braid. I mean, and I've tried to play it so many times, and I'm like, on paper, Braid should be right up my alley. But
should
to
be.
actually play Braid, ugh. And I think it's because I see Jonathan Blow's face whenever I'm playing it, looking at me smugly, like, oh, try to figure this one out, dildo. I'm like, fuck you, Jonathan Blow. I hope you're listening to this, Jonathan Blow. Fucking grow up.
All of a sudden, I find
What were we talking about?
Limbo. Before I derailed this somehow. I don't know. I thought I actually liked the platforming in this game. Like, it was, I could have just had a game of just platforming like this, even though it's simple, and I would have been happier than, or just have them be like, this is what you do for the puzzle. Oh, thank you. Because I don't know. I mean, there were a few puzzles I could understand. It was near the last third of the game where I really started to struggle and had to pretty much watch YouTube the entire way, which I didn't like. Because some, like, I could understand completely where they're going. You walk in the glass breaks. You have to take the minecart to use it. So you can jump off the ladder to break the glass. Like, my brain, like, okay, this makes sense. But there were just some where I just could not, like, fathom what to do. And when I looked it up, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have figured that out. Like, my brain just, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like, mostly when I see people talking about, like, the puzzles that they had the most problems with, it's the gravity stuff, like, all the way at the end.
Yes, I didn't like those.
Yeah,
I love the gravity one.
I love the
favorite part.
gravity ones
I
too.
did not.
Like the gravity and the ones with the where you sort of find out that the entire world is held together with magnetism. I don't know if that's
a good
quite
one, too.
what it is, but like once you hit the magnet thing, the world starts spinning around. And like that's interesting to me. It also leads to a lot of good puzzles. Yeah, I think the ramp up to those gravity puzzles and the world spinning ones are kind of just like it gives you these tools and you're using all of them by the end, even if you're not doing the same things, but it's giving you the tools to think the right way. And I think that's really its strong suit. I think the puzzles in this game are definitely its strong suit because, like you said at the beginning, Mike, you don't get any. There are no upgrades. You are this little kid who can barely jump throughout the entire game, and that's what you have. You have the ability to drag stuff around, and you can jump the amount that a little kid can jump.
Fair.
And that rule, like, I think that's great because it's right in the median between video game and, I don't know, something more than a video game. It's a little bit more than just running to the right and it's more than Mario, but it's not quite art. If that makes sense.
I would say this game could argue with that video games is an art comment just because of this is a very stylized game with simple mechanics.
Yeah,
I would say Grizz could be art.
I am all for an art game, but I've also played plenty that go too far in the art direction, and then they're not fun games. It has to be art that also allows itself to be a video game.
And this game does, for sure.
Yeah, I can... Look, I'm sorry I said you were ugly and you smelled bad and that you were dumb earlier in the podcast, because I guess I can understand how this might not be somebody's thing, but I can't imagine it being somebody's thing and then them sort of liking it. Like, I can't see anybody sort of liking Limbo. I think you're either on the Michael Colby, this game is perfect, 10 out of 10, no notes, camp, or you're in the Mike Albertin, I wish it was more of a video game camp.
Well, to be fair, when I commented that I beat it, I'm like, hey, I beat it for the first time in 15 years. Yeah, I still don't like it. I had gotten more laughing reactions than I ever got when I say I beat a game. So that says something right there. And multiple people I know were like, man, that game is amazing. Hell, Blake, who's on the show sometimes, he has a tattoo of Limbo.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
people love this game.
Yeah, and then he has tattoos of a bunch of bullshit JRPGs, so I don't understand that.
He saw that too. So, I mean, people really do. Another puzzle that screwed me up is there's one we have to run across a pipe back and forth to get it to tilt all the way up, but you have to do it like 6 times before it will cooperate.
I know which one you're talking about.
Like, I did it.
But
I didn't do it 6 times.
Yeah, that one's inside where you were talking about the cart with the ladder, and then you break the glass.
Yep.
That is my favorite. That's my favorite platforming section, is the inside of that greenhouse or whatever it is. That's where I had the most fun playing this as a video game. And that's the part where that pipe that you're talking about is.
Oh, it bothered me because I'm watching a Let's Play and he's doing the same thing I did. He's running from side to side and it's not working because you have to run from the middle to one side back to the middle to get it to keep tilting but not go too far. And my brain was thinking like a normal video game, you would run all the way to one side, get it to go up high enough, maybe put a weight on it, and then run to the other. But this little fucker can't run nor jump.
Yeah.
I mean, I want my video game character. I don't want to be a little kid. I already went through that phase in life. I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah, I think that's where it splits off from being just a video game. Like there's no run button. You know, you can't jump 6 times your height. You have the probably a little bit more strength than a normal kid would have because there's a lot of climbing and like pushing pretty big stuff, but for the most part you are a human person in a strange world. And when
I was a kid, I could climb up a wall and pull myself up. Now if adult Mike, out of shape Mike, does that, it won't happen. I tried. When a couple years ago I went back to where I used to live, and this wall that was like 7 feet tall that me and my friend would always climb up as kids. And I'm like, I'm going to try it. My wife like, don't hurt yourself. I couldn't get up it. And so I was stronger when I was younger because I actually was in shape to a degree.
Yeah, that's
Zach,
true.
you have kids. You're more agile than you think, right?
Oh my God, yeah. They are
a young kid.
And I'm old and I hurt myself trying to keep up with them.
Yeah, we have a mall close to us that got destroyed, but that's where we hung out when we were kids, and it had a brick pattern on the outside where like it was one row of bricks that were out a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And then the next row would go in and then the next row would go out. So it was almost like a ladder, and we would climb to the top of that wall. And before that mall was destroyed, which was probably 10 years ago, so I was 10 years younger than I am now, we went back and I think I got about 4 layers of outside bricks up before I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Hey, that's still pretty good for being 70, Colby, and doing that. So
you got me. You burned my ass.
No, I couldn't do it. I'm only 37, and it's just as we get older, we don't use them. Like I have a friend of mine that's on the show who's a gym rat and like in great shape, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. I don't need that.
Yeah, my doctor says, hey, you're in pretty good shape for being as old as you are. And I'm like, right. That's good enough. I don't need to like have a 6-pack. I don't need to have pecs. I'm fine. As long as I'm not going to die. Yeah, that's enough.
I mean, that's kind of how I am. I walk every day now and I try to get out and do a few things and I'm like, yep, I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, another puzzle that I did figure out myself without having used YouTube was the one where you have to like get this platform hold down so the box can bounce up, but you have to drop this like look like a grain elevator to me with the chain so you can pull the weight onto it. I figured out that on my own. Like there were some that I was able to do without having to, because like you said earlier, the game is very sectional, so you can like, but there were just some stuff where brains like does not compute. So
yeah, yeah,
that's just me.
You just need to play it like 34 more times, and then you'll know all that stuff.
I played it twice. I don't plan to play it a third time in life. So
that's sad.
Hey, I promise you we'd cover it.
Yes. So I was hoping. I look. I get it, but I was hoping that that you would at least like lighten up on it a little bit. Like
that makes two of us.
In your wizened age, you would be like, yes, I understand this game now. That was my hope.
Me too. I came into this thinking that I would enjoy it more. I'm like, I'm older. I have a much more passion for movies and video games. Like, I will appreciate this now. And unfortunately, I'm just kind of like, but I tried it.
Yeah.
Like, that's half the battle.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, there's so much to it that my little art school heart couldn't, it can't ignore the stuff that it does with aesthetics. And I also think that that's why I like Limbo more than I like Outside, is because of those aesthetics. Like, Inside, probably technically a better game. Definitely a better looking game.
Yes.
But Limbo does, I was talking about the backgrounds earlier. Like, there's foreground stuff, there's background stuff, and there's different layers to the backgrounds, and everything looks like, even where it's just white in the background, it still looks hazy somehow. And it's so incredible the things that this game does to make it look the way it does. And you're going to get that same feeling no matter what you're playing it on. You can play it on a 720 plasma TV on the Xbox 360, and you're going to get the same sort of feeling about it as if you're playing on a, 4090 on a, 120 hertz monitor. It's all going to feel sort of the same, and I think that's really cool. I think it's a cool, like, technical achievement that they made this 15 years ago, and it still holds up 100%. Like, there is no need for any sort of remake. There's no need for any sort of update. I just think it's a perfect game. It might be going up on my list now that I've played it again and now that I'm talking about it. And I'm talking about it so much, and I apologize. I'm sure Zach has stuff to say about it too, but it's just one of those games that, like, like I said, it makes me feel a certain way, and not many things can do that. I never get that feeling from television or movies. Even a great movie that I'll watch, I'll just be like, yeah, whatever. But, like, interacting with the world makes it a different thing.
Zach, anything else to say?
If I go back like 5 minutes, Colby said something. Colby was talking about Inside, and I had almost the exact same thing in my notes. Like, I feel like that game is the more interesting gameplay and is, I think, weirder in a good way than Limbo. But I prefer Limbo I feel like it's a more complete game. Like, Inside, I feel like they were 3/4 done and they were like, good enough, ship it. And it's just, I don't love the ending of that. And this one, I feel like it's complete, and I get more enjoyment out of replaying Limbo than I do out of Inside.
I didn't know Inside was published by Ubisoft.
Is it?
Oh, is it?
No, it's not. It was a joke because you said it wasn't complete.
Oh.
I tried.
I thought you were. I thought.
No,
I
no,
thought,
I don't.
I was
I thought maybe
really
they
confused
used-
for a minute.
Yeah, I thought maybe they used that. What's that? Rayman, the
think it
Child
was.
of Light engine.
I've never played that game. I just wanted to make a joke because Ubisoft is notorious for releasing half-finished products at times. I like Ubisoft games a lot, so.
Yeah, so do I. But
lot of people do.
we should play Child of Light for the. You want to talk about an arty game that you'll like?
I need to
That
play
game.
it. It's been on my list.
It is gorgeous, and it's a turn-based RPG with, like, some interactable things that you can do during the fight. It's really a beautiful game. It's annoying because they speak in poem. They speak in rhymes. Everything's couplets, and it sort of drives me crazy. But other than that, it is a beautiful game, and, like, the story's great, and yeah, the characters are cool, and it looks so good. Yeah,
On my
let's play
one-
Child of the Light.
do list.
That's when I picked up because everybody said like how great the art style was and everything, and I loved it up until I had to do my first fight, and I was like, oh, it's turn-based.
It is turn-based.
And I just turned it right off.
Base is not bad.
I can't do it.
Turn-based is usually bad. But
Disagree.
every once in a while, I'll play a game where I'm like, I can do this. I can do this combat. It's got like a timing bar.
It's a golf swing.
And it's also got things that you can do with some of the characters that let you build up your special meter faster and get your life back while you're going through the thing. It's way more interactive than, say, a crappy Final Fantasy game.
All of them?
All of them. Yeah, all of them. That's what I meant.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
Hard disagree. Also, a lot of them aren't even turn-based. One last puzzle I want to mention that screwed me up that I had to look up YouTube and I went, oh, that's simple. Is the one where you hit a lever, you press a button, comes, and then you have to move these things to get the wheel to keep going. I did not notice the wheel. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And it wasn't until I looked up, I'm like, oh, yep. And then I just went and did it. And I don't feel bad because I'm watching this long play, and he did the exact same thing I did. He went to the wheel and watched it go by and just ran off and went, what the fuck? And then it was like, okay, I'm not the only one. Good.
That's one of my favorite puzzles because it's so
not a bad
annoying
puzzle.
to do.
You just have to.
It's not a bad puzzle, but
attention.
Man, that's one of those that you have to execute on, and you have to execute on that thing perfectly. And
yeah, there's a few in this game like that.
Yeah. That's a good one with the wheel.
So I guess the last thing I want to say is, do we think that he got out of Limbo, or we think it's all an illusion? Game doesn't tell us.
I mean,
No.
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he got out.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Limbo was just you do a whole adventure on an island because your plane crashed, and then it isn't until the last season you figure out it's all Limbo the whole time. So I thought they do it.
But you're in denial the whole time about it.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And so are the writers that are making the story, too.
I know what you're talking about. I'm so glad that I avoided that show entirely.
Man, that
I
show
really liked it to the last season.
Oh, I did, too. I remember, I'm like, what? And that's when Abrams is kind of like, you know what? I don't really care for you that much.
Look, I watched the entire series of Dexter and Game of Thrones. I know what it's like to invest in a series that has a terrible last season. I don't need another one.
I would say Dexter had a terrible last 2 seasons at least.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll go to bat for Game of Thrones. They had a terrible last episode, but the last season wasn't terrible. Some cool stuff happened.
I'm still waiting for that
stuff happened.
That last book to come out. Any day now, right? Any day.
Right. Wasn't there something in Discord recently about somebody was saying like, yeah.
I've never watched the show past season 1, but I read the 5 books, and I remember really liking them, and then I'm like, whatever, fuck you, Martin, kind of thing. Like, I just don't care. The show just doesn't interest me because it's really brutal, I know, because I read the books, and I'm just kind of like, I'm good. Maybe one day. I own it.
It's pretty good until, man, spoiler alert for Game of Thrones.
I know the whole thing, so it's not like, and other people
like, the worst character in the show is Bran. Like, there's no reason for him to be there. And then for him to live through the whole series and become the king? Fuck you, Game of Thrones. Bran the king. Fuck that. I hate that
He's much
show.
better in the books, where the books were going. But then again, someone stopped writing the books. So, hey.
Yeah, well, he's really bad in the show, and they just sure do let him live through the entire fucking thing.
Because he doesn't.
He
stayed away, I guess.
In several seasons.
I mean, that's how you stay alive.
Yeah,
just don't be there.
Yeah, he's barely in it. Yeah, way too many Starks survive that thing.
All right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Zach, why don't you lead us in?
Oh, this is Shelf. I love this game. I've played it a number of times, and I will play it a number more times. Pick it up. It's cheap. Like, even if you don't like it, you can't be that mad.
Maybe. It might be more upset than you think.
Right,
I'll go next.
If you pick it up and you don't like it, I will give you back your $3.
I'm going to put it in the stack. Because it's not a bad game. I still don't care for it, but because of you guys, I'll put it in the stack instead of where it was headed. So, but I'm never going to replay this. I'm done. Like, I played it. I covered it. I'm good. We're done.
So it's a pity stack.
Yes, it is. It didn't make me upset like Martyrs did for a movie or other games that I played for the show. So, yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe did that episode come out yet?
Yes.
Oh, Martyrs has been out, yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right. I didn't listen to it because I don't want to think about Martyrs ever again. I can't believe you watched Martyrs.
The poster made me do it. So
Oh,
when we bought that poster, I told Tiff and the podcast that like I'm going to do every movie on that poster, period. And so far, Martyrs is the worst.
Oh my God. You want to talk about something that's bleak.
Oh.
Woof. Limbo feels like a fucking
fresh air.
circus show.
Well, Martyrs is the only movie where I was like, I don't need this. I could just walk away. I could just turn this off and just walk away. Like, yeah. That don't happen often on this show where there's less than 3 things, or no, at this point there is only one other thing that's actually been planned with a date that didn't happen. That I set a date. I do everything I plan. I was about to be like, just walk away, Mike. Just walk away. That's how much I hated that movie. So,
Yeah.
And Colby, what about you?
wouldn't have-
Self-stacker box.
Hang on. Let me think about this. I really have to consider what I'm going to do with this game. I could put it in the... Of course I'm going to put it on the fucking shelf. What are you talking about? This is a work of art. I'm not even putting it on the shelf. I'm framing it and hanging it up on my wall. It's a perfect game, and if you don't like it, buy it. And if you don't like it, not only am I not going to give you your $3 back, you owe me $3, because fuck you if you don't like this game.
I don't even have anything else to say. So I will say you will hear us talk about Inside at some point. I just don't know when. Hopefully this Spooktober is my plan, but I don't know. I probably shouldn't play it close together, but it will happen. Maybe sooner or later.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not going to be as passionate about Inside. I can tell you that.
I beat it once. I'm being curious to play it again.
I'll tell you this. If you don't like Inside, I'm not going to tell you to fuck you. Like, I'm not going to tell you to fuck off.
So, all right, let's go to plugs. And Zach, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Absolutely the Best Podcast, A Work in Progress. Anywhere you can find podcasts, you'll find that one. And we have more or less caught up to the MCU, so it's just a matter of maintaining that. We discuss the MCU movies and rank them. So we have the whole list of what we've already watched available. And then we are also doing some MCU adjacent stuff, just meaning that there's some connection between actors or writers or whatever to an MCU movie. And we're going to be starting up on the Aliens and Predators movies in October.
How are those adjacent to MCU? Okay.
They're not. That's just a new series. I did a whole spiel on the last episode where I was like, I don't think I've ever said this before on the show, but this is not a Marvel podcast. Like, it's not called the Marvel podcast, right?
Yeah.
I was like, we just happened to start with the MCU. I knew we were going to run out one day, and so I wanted to leave it open to do other things. And so the next other thing is the Aliens and Predator movies. And we will do Alien and Predator adjacent movies as well. So.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to be on a couple episodes of that.
Well, you hit me up and tell me what you want to be on.
Alien is my favorite movie franchise. I think all of the movies are good, and you'll hear about it when we talk about Aliens on Games My Mom Found.
Out the day after this comes out.
Out the day after this one comes out.
Nice.
But yeah, Alien is my favorite franchise. And the first 2 Predator movies, I like Predator 2 way more than a lot of people. And Predators or Prey. No, I'm sorry, Prey.
Prey, yeah.
I thought Prey was fucking...
I mean, you can just sub in for me. I think we have all the same opinions on these.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
all right.
And I can confirm best podcast ever, period. Even though I can't remember the name of it, is not a Marvel podcast, because they do a thing at the end where they talk about the Last of Us TV show, and I have to skip it every week.
That's why it's at the end.
And Colby, where can people find you at?
They can look up Jack Billings Presents. It is an absurdist comedy scripted podcast, which actually I have to talk to you about, Mike.
Okay.
And you can also, if you are into regular podcasts, you can listen to This Bizarre Adventure, which is myself and my podcast Soulmate B talking about the anime television show JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It is a wild ride. I'm also working on something new that I'm going to put out and it's not related to anything, and it's just something that I've had in my head for a long time. It's a post-apocalyptic story where a guy who the apocalypse happened when he was 11 years old, and he had to grow himself up. It's sort of his diary, and the world ended in 1989, so he does all of the stuff into a tape recorder, and I have a tape recorder, and I'm recording the episodes on cassette tapes and then transferring them to be podcasts. It is gonna, when it's out, it will be called The Adventures of Rad Awesome Sauce, and you can get it wherever your podcasts are found.
This sounds semi-autobiographical.
It is something I've been thinking about since I was about 17 years old.
That's
I was
cool.
going to write a book, but I decided to turn it into a podcast instead.
Nice. I like that. I have not the similar idea, but a similar thing where this is something I've been thinking about for decades. And like, I just have these notes jotted down for something to turn into a book one day. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if it would make for a podcast, though. Anyway.
And if you enjoyed this episode, over 850 episodes of this podcast out now. We do movies, TV shows, video games, comics, all sorts of content, whatever the hell people convince me to talk about, or I convince people to check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have Patreon, a little darling vote in our Patreon polls, or also donate $10 and I will shout out your podcast for every episode for that month. So we do have listeners. You can see that right on Podbean. All our content's on Podbean too. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, join the Discord. It's free. We're always having new people join Discord alert. I don't care. Join, please. And also, I'm going to shout out my awesome intro and outro, courtesy Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram, and check out Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And I think that, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
So long.